There's been a lot in the news recently about school administrators, also called school superintendents. I'm Dr. Walter Guarino, and I'm here to introduce you to Dr. Richard Bozza, who's the Executive Director of New Jersey Association of School Administrators. And he's going to give you the good news and the real news. Okay, NJASA. Tell us what the organization's all about.
The New Jersey Association of School Administrators is comprised of more than 1,000 men and women who are the chief education officers of their communities and the school administrators, school leaders that support their work.
I know that the role of a superintendent is misunderstood. Tell us a little about why it's misunderstood and what they really do.
The issue of superintendent often is raised with regard to a building superintendent, the person who fixes and repairs things, not the person who is leading their educational system. And so they've got a very important job in their community in first of all, providing the highest quality education possible for the children who reside within their communities. And they do that through a variety of ways. They have to hire teachers and staff. They have to ensure a stable system of funding and financing. They have to provide facilities that are helpful for their people, and they have to communicate. Communication is a big part of what they have to do.
School funding, big issue. What's happening now with the budget, and where do you think it's going to wind up?
Well, there are some interesting points with regard to funding. New Jersey supports its school systems well, and much interest and even controversy with regard to the tax base that provides that and how it's different in different towns based on the wealth of the individuals and property values. So we're taking a look at that, and that causes people to look very hard often at school administration. Because they don't understand the role of school administration, sometimes they think it's just superfluous. And interesting fact, when we examine this and we look at the 50 states in the nation using the federal data, we find that when we look at the percentage of the dollar that goes to total administration in the schools, 8th lowest in the country. People are surprised by that, 8th lowest in the country. At the same time, when we look at growth in the school system, over a 15 or 16-year period, our school have grown. Student population more than 30%, over 300,000 pupils. At the same time, teachers by 50%, support staff by 47%. And during that same period of time, school administrators grew less than 3%. And so the demands have increased, the number of people that they have to supervise and work with have increased, and so it's a tough job for people who are working in the schools.
A lot of towns in the state, some 566, I believe, and the issue is that every town has a school, and people are starting to talk about consolidating them. Does that mean bigger is better?
Consolidation has been talked about for the better part of 40 years, and now it's come to the forefront again because of the pressures of the economic downturn in particular. And so our organization supports the current state examination of school districts and taking a hard look of should there be more school districts or fewer school districts. But we need to know what that means. What's the impact on education? What's the impact on the tax dollar? And are people well served by it? So there are studies that are beginning now, and we hope that they are well done so that the people who are affected by these potential decisions have the best information available to them before they actually have to go to the polls and vote on the issue.
If you only had a few seconds to tell me what a school administrator does, what's the one thing that you would like me to remember?
I think I'd want them to know that the job of the chief education officer is a lot tougher than it appears. If I can get them to look through their eyes, walk in their moccasins for a mile, so to speak, they'd find out that the job is very complex, from getting the kids on the bus in the morning to operating schools at nights and the weekends, and the incredible amount of time that they dedicate to making sure that the systems run well for the kids in their community.